So recently, there has been news that Charlie Kirk has been shot. For context, Charlie Kirk is a conservative political figure in which he likes to debate on college campuses. On September 10th, he was going about his usual routine when all of a sudden he was shot from afar, killing him instantly. Now, I will not show the footage here as it's too violent and graphic, but you can look it up. Anyway, this incident here is a sign of American polarization, more especially on how divided we have become. The death of Kirk is part of a long line of political violence in recent memory. For example, last year you had the Trump rally incident and Luigi Mangione with the CEO. There seems to be a trend of normalizing of violence in the political sphere. Despite these deplorable and horrific actions, there seems to be a fundamentally different reaction on how we used to respond to these sorts of events. As now, there seems to be some mixed reactions every time something like this happens. What do I mean exactly? Well, for example, when a political figure dies back then, it was usually treated with respect in the sense that people would either mourn or send some condolences to said political figure. Nowadays, with the current polarized state and the landscape of social media, half the politicals, also known as political junkies, would celebrate it simply due to their disagreement on said political figure's views. This leads to an instant politicization of any event nowadays, as once there used to be common ground is now usually split and has mixed reactions amongst the political people. Sometimes there would even be conspiracy theories surrounding said events to explain this phenomenon. An example would be if Anna Kasparian from the Young Turks was killed today and the conservatives would celebrate it. However, if she was killed in 2006 or 2005, there would be more mourning. Again, don't get it twisted, this isn't advocating, but using a hypothetical example to explain this phenomenon. So how does this tie into political polarization? Well, it's simple. With the constant hatred and dehumanization of the other side, this leads to a mentality of thinking that the other side is evil. Since both sides have already convinced themselves that the side they disagree with is wrong no matter what, this results in politics being more divided than ever before. For example, extreme right-wingers and conservatives would think that the left is too radical, socialist, communist, or fascist. Conversely, the extreme left and liberals think the right is also fascist, authoritarian, and dictatorial. Sure, they may be insults on the surface, but that's how some of these people unironically think when it comes to politics. They treat it like it's a competitive sport where both parties are teams and they need to own the other side, when in reality, both sides need to learn to compromise and have more bipartisanship. Not every disagreement needs to have petty anger and combative mindsets. Sure, not everything can be agreed upon, but when both sides understand each other more, that's how you reduce polarization and division. So to wrap up, the recent death of Charlie Kirk is just a symptom of how violence is starting to become the norm. It shows that petty disagreements are resulting in violence, which is a sign of an unhealthy democracy. Our differences and disagreements can't even be discussed, let alone be resolved, all the while the country is slowly falling into authoritarianism. But hey, what do I know? I'm just some guy on the internet.